Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going over a kind of breaking news report that Senator from Wisconsin, Ron Johnson, has said he has no decision on 2022 run yet, but that retiring and leaving office is, quote, probably his preferable preference. So, what does that mean? Well, first things first is it means yes, technically he is still undecided. He has technically not said what he will do specifically. He has not been definitive. In politics, things can change like every single hour. Never mind every day, every single hour. But the part that's really interesting is his preferable preference is to leave office, meaning retire. Why is this really important? Well, first things first is Ron Johnson is one of the most senior Republican senators in terms of age. So he's very high up in the Republican Party. He's chaired a lot of important committees. And number one, you never want to lose that. Number two, he is a Republican senator from Wisconsin. And it's important because there's no Republican senators in Michigan, no Republican senators in Minnesota, one Republican senator in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. And if Ron Johnson decides to retire, then both Republicans, Ron Johnson and Pat Toomey, both are retiring. There's a real possibility that the Democrats could win both seats, and there would be no Republican senators in the Rust Belt states of Wisconsin, Michigan, or Pennsylvania. All three President Trump won in 2016. If Johnson and Toomey retire, which it's Toomey will, we're waiting on Johnson. If they decide to retire, and Democrats are able to capitalize on that and win the Senate races, then all three Rust Belt states that voted for President Trump in 2016 will have two senators, two Democratic senators, and I believe all three have Democratic governors. And it's kind of a showing that when you have total united party control, it's hard for the opposite party to win a presidential race, for instance. It'd be a lot easier, although it may not directly be related. It's a lot easier for a presidential candidate. I'm just so used to saying President Trump from 2020 and 2016. But say if President Trump in 2016, Ron Johnson was the senator in Wisconsin, and Scott Walker was the Republican governor. So there was already a DNA in the state of voting for Republicans. In Michigan, they had a Republican governor, Rick Snyder, and they didn't have any Republican senators, but they at least had a Republican governor. And in Pennsylvania, they had a Republican senator, Pat Toomey. So there was at least someone out of the three of senators and governor who were Republicans. So people in the state were used to voting statewide for a Republican who won. If the governorship and the two senators are all Democrats in these three states, that could be very, very hard for a Republican candidate to win the presidency in those seats. So from a national standpoint, it affects the presidential race, but also in 2022, control of the Senate is very much up in the air right now. It's supposed to be a Republican wave year given historical trends and historical analysis that whenever the president's party is in power, typically the opposite party will do better because the president's party is on the defense. However, to me, it looks like the Democrats are honestly going more on the offense right now because you're a retiring incumbent Pat Toomey in Pennsylvania. That's a potential Democratic pickup. You have a retiring incumbent Richard Burr in North Carolina. I think the Republicans should still be narrowly favored in an open primary, but that is a potential pickup. You have Ron Johnson, who if he decides to retire, there is no Republican incumbent, so this race is a pure toss-up, the same as Pennsylvania. This race could go either way. So that could be a Democratic pickup. So far, the Democrats would have won 3 Republican seats already. Not to mention, there's also a retiring incumbent in Ohio. I'd expect Republicans to hold on there, but, I mean, Ohio going blue, it's not really the biggest stretch. They did vote for Sherrod Brown in 2018, so it is possible. And then Republicans, it's 50-50. Republicans need to gain seats to take back the Senate. If Ron Johnson doesn't run, then that could be Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, 2 seats that might go to the Democrats. The Republicans are now down 2. If they lose North Carolina, they're down 3. So Republicans could be down 2 or 3 seats and then need to go into Georgia and win. Arizona and win, New Hampshire and win, Nevada and win. All 4 of those states are going to be close and do have the potential, but don't forget, Nevada has not voted for a Republican president since 2004. They did have Dean Heller, but he lost in 2018. So the Republicans are certainly at a disadvantage in Nevada. Arizona, we've seen that the Democrats have been steadily doing better, and the Democrats have now overtaken the Republicans in voting for the president and for both senators. And unless there's a strong Republican candidate, there's a pretty good chance there'll be a Democratic governor as well. So Arizona's trending the Democrats' way. New Hampshire, I think that if Christian Sununu runs, I think Christian Sununu can win that race. And I don't think it's going to be by the smallest of margins either. I think he can win. But if Christian Sununu decides not to run, then the Democrats are probably going to hold on in that Senate race. So, as you can see, I'm going down the list. Republicans' pickup opportunities are actually a little not great as much as you would hope it would be if you're a Republican. And then in Georgia, Raphael Warnock, he just won a special election. Now, maybe Republicans can get a better candidate that can beat him, but even still, I don't know. Ralph Warnock was a strong candidate. He was able to win. He had the bigger margin of victory of the 2 races. And also, even if they do, that's 1 pickup. If they're losing Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, then they're down 2. They're still net down 1. Not only do Democrats keep the majority, they gain on it. And then if Republicans, say, win New Hampshire, but lose Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, that's a net gain of 0. Democrats still control the Senate. So then Republicans would have to go in and win either Arizona or Nevada. And can it be done? Yes. Is it going to be difficult? Absolutely. So if Republicans could do that, that'd be good. But then also North Carolina could flip. So there's the map is very, very interesting in how it goes. But it is possible. But Ron Johnson potentially not running for re-election could be a very damaging blow to the Republican chances of picking up the Senate. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you always get notified whenever I post a new one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.